Hi everyone. Today I thought I'd just jump on and share a few of my thoughts and to explain a few things in observation over the last few weeks. Talking about October as being a month of a lot of uh, Ministry of Magic interference, as well as the lower vibrational magic, which is related to those who think they got a hand at magic. In any case, moving along from that. So essentially in my community tab, I've posted material where I explained in a very rudimentary way that there was essentially a massive ritual that was done in between all the other rituals that was taking place at the same time, because we know that there are more of them, like I've said before, and they have lots of time on hand, so they're also being paid to do that sort of work. And the ritual was essentially based on the information of bringing in an aeon, number one, which they've always been trying to do for I don't know how long, but they've just been doing that for so long. That's literally all they can do. Then, of course, that doesn't mean that it discards or discredits everybody else that's been working their hands at magic and paganistic magic and whatever else shit that they could think up of doing, cyber magic to essentially bully people online that are bringing authentic material in, because it really is to try and remove the awareness of authenticity as well as creativity. And in this aspect, we're looking at the lunar and the solar pillars that have been used, the masculine and the feminine pillars on the that represent solar and lunar individually, as bringing them together so that it could be crossing out and creating a manger, which is an alchemical term which I've just given because that's the way that I've seen it, for an entity to be birthed into a realm that is filled with filth and empty vessels that really will run and do whatever is necessary to do to get what they want at the end of the day. So essentially, you're looking at a ratio of, let's say, one spirited being versus six that are not spirited, that are only vessels that are essentially wanting to corrupt information and even try and drive you for you to take yourself down. And that's happened. That's always been going on in the background. You're always going to get a nasty fucker that's going to try and do whatever they can do to eradicate your information or you as a person, and then spreading information around and then discussing it secretly in the background so that you never know, and then to be your frenemy. So aside from that, I'm talking to the people that are spirited. I'm speaking to only you, and you are aware of what I'm saying, and I know some of you very personally as well, that the crossing of the two pillars to create another timeline for the Aeon to be birthed into has failed yet again, and that is what the issue is. That's why everyone is so bum sore in that case. And what has essentially prevented this frequency from taking place, as much as the world is trying to paint a picture of essentially eternal grief right now, they've now decided to focus now on the let's call it the economy. Okay, and the economy is then part of the whole thing, that really they know that most people, that practically everyone in this realm requires some form of economy to function. And I'm not talking about the physical economy only, but I'm talking about the esoteric and spiritual economy, or the currency which operates through the spirit and the soul as well. And this is why I'm talking specifically to you as a spirited being, that you become aware of this next narrative that's now playing itself out. How is it possible that I'm able to see these narratives? Well, it's possible because you feel it too. And you were aware of it. So what happened during October was the video of the Lesser Key of Solomon, and many had an absolute cadenza. A lot of magical rituals took place to try and take me down, which I've explained in that video, prior and during and after, and still up to a few days ago. I wanted to ask those that have been trying to do that to question yourselves if you even have the mental capacity to do so, as the only way that I'm going to explain it as it is. How does it feel to be gebliksemd by the frequency of the luminiferous ether? Because you will be continuously be beaten down like that until you will let go of the frequency to try and control that which is authentic and spirited. That was why the lesser key was broken. The ring was essentially broken for that purpose, so that the system overlay would crack. And for the system overlay to crack the way that it has been done was the way to release frequency to come in to essentially clean up the nest egg within the torus. And I'm speaking metaphysically strictly, so this has got nothing to do with what's going on in the mainstream normie world. Okay, I'm talking the real information, not the bullshit that's playing out at Bethel's brains continuously every day. I'm asking that you become aware that while this luminiferous ether is projecting into this system as it is, through the cracks of the system overlay, that those who are spirited will become aware of how much has been hidden, how there has been a lot to cook up information, so that they are losing the storylines. Okay, so if mainstream industries, industrial story building and narratives are breaking down, then it means, and when I say breaking down, I'm not predicting anything, please, it's got nothing to do with that. I'm saying it is breaking down because of the magnitude of building up more stories to try and cover up older stories. So lies upon lies and covers over lies. Now I'm leaving that to you to figure it out for yourself, why I've just brought that up. And for those of you who don't know the word Bliksem, it means to be beaten. And the only way that it works the best is to say it in Afrikaans, which is my native language. Coming back to October, finishing it off as we did, we managed to find out a lot more than we probably would have wanted to know. Many people started hurting people, which, like I said, seems to happen quite often, just generally speaking. With people, you don't really need to question and wonder if it was demonic at all when you have people doing it to people. Man's inhumanity to man is a condition that relates to probably a situation or a spinning of information that has always been there from the first day that you've opened up your little eyes in this realm. However, I'm not speaking to try and salvage anything. I'm not speaking from a point to try and protect anything or to try and give you something to believe in, like a carrot, like most New Age people do, or other channels that seem to do that. What I'm telling you is as it is, as I see it, and I share with you what I see, and you have the right to refuse or to dismiss or to listen. You are completely in control of how you experience the information that I'm sharing here. And so it absolutely does not affect me in any way, shape or form, because I have absolute respect for you as a spirited being in how you connect with the information as it stands. Going into November, we were looking at the month as midway point to the same material, the same narrative that's been playing out, except now they've, like I've said, they've added the next one in, because they are trying to hit at the root level of your existence, which is based on how much you are connected to that which is material in this realm, which is based on the currency of your energy that you give out and what is taken from you, whether you are aware of it or not, by way of belief systems and contracts. Some people may go through something that is quite traumatic, while others are able to process it easier because they've worked on themselves more internally. It depends. It doesn't mean, because I'm saying it the way that it is, that it's been smooth sailing either. I am, however, saying that the more you see about what it is and where it is that you're in, the more you're able to understand where you're going in terms of who you are. It has always been that way. The function of that process has always been to explain, this is why my channel is there, to show you and tell you as it is, as it stands, as how I see it. And I'm definitely, like I said, I'm not projecting it onto you, because you have the right always to decide what to do with the information at your disposal. However, that does not negate thieving and parasitism and trying to scour the information that is on this channel, because you're unable to do that correctly, because you lack the frequency to do so and the right to disperse my information. That is the rule. That has always been the case ever since the beginning of time. And it will all remain so. Coming back to November, prepare yourselves for a major detox. Energetically speaking, you're going into a next level. I'm not predicting it for you. I'm telling you this is what I'm seeing. What I'm experiencing is you're going to want to feel like you want to break free completely and run around like a lunatic, but obviously within reason. If you want to be a lunatic, then go be a lunatic somewhere else. If you want to be free in your experience of who you are, then understand that the process of this detox may be painful, but it may also be allowing you to experience your full capacity of your individual existence. However, within reason, we must understand that metaphysics is explaining it in the way that it is, that you have the ability to connect your masculine and your feminine principles with one another, because that was why they wanted you to break or up. They wanted you to break down. They wanted to block you from accessing your connections within yourself, your sacred masculine and sacred feminine principles, which is the ability to create as well as to birth ideas and creativity and love into yourself, to accept yourself, to stop projecting yourself, to stop, to actually give yourself the right to be who you are. Does not mean, as I've said before, and I'll say this again, looking after yourself does not mean that you are saying it's okay for the way things are in this realm. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that I'm saying, okay, because I'm caring for myself and I love myself with respect and consciousness and conscientiousness and morality and connecting with my spirit and deeper into that, means that I am saying it's okay for the world to be this suck-ass place. Doesn't mean that at all. It means that I actually care more about myself than what's going on there. And you should perhaps do the same thing. Because the more you do that, the more you draw the energy back away, so that you're allowing the luminiferous ether to actually do the radiation work. Think of it like that. You're not going to try and roast something in the microwave with your own energy, when you can just literally use the microwave to microwave the parasites by itself. It's there for that purpose. So it does, however, give away, let me put it this way, it does, however, give away to those that are worshipping that luminiferous ether as a reflection of light. So then that makes it more obvious that you can see who you're actually looking at. What you're looking at is those that run after it and that think that that's the next best place to go into, or new age thing, or the ones that love to look at themselves in the reflection of that light. Luminiferous ether is not to be worshipped. It is just an energetic frequency that is highlighting a lot of things that have been hidden, which means now you are able to penetrate and understand. Again, I'm talking about the ones that are spirited, that are listening to this information, who is lying and who is not, who is trying to subject you into a belief system or not. So prepare yourselves for the midway point of detoxing completely from whatever was attached to you, perhaps, and whoever you were wanting to disconnect from will then disconnect by themselves, because your frequency will literally be a little bit more freer for you to access. And this then gives you the opportunity to actually build yourself into a awareness of accessing your mind, body, soul, and spirit, or earth, air, fire, water, and ether within yourself. The entire situation, or the story about the Philosopher's Stone, which was initially conjured up or psychologically by Carl Jung, who had completely fragmented the consciousness of mankind and has ever since been perpetuating that same limiting belief for humanity, has negated and left out in his psychology of the inner alchemy the most vital thing called the spirit. And no wonder he was driven almost mad for over 30 years to try and figure it out. He never could, anyway, if you look back at it. But that's my personal beef with Carl Jung. I don't think he's actually even done a good job at explaining alchemy the way that it should have been done. But that, again, like I said, is my own opinion. Why I have decided to bring this information in is not to step on anyone, because that's not my intention, but I am here to tell you that if you are one of those that try and destroy the information that comes out from this channel, or copy it, or thieving it in any way, shape, or form. I'm not talking about the ones that are actually posting it and sharing it and giving commentary on their own. You're allowed to do that, but I'm talking about people that are doing this not just to me, but to other people as well that I know of and that I've seen. You are basically being radiated by the luminiferous ether, whether you are aware of it or not, and you will feel the consequences of it. It's not a threat, it's just an observation, and I'm just telling you as it is, as I always say. So, back to the ones that are spirited, and I wish for you a good path going forward. We will connect again as soon as I'm able to connect with whatever is happening right now. Right now, I want to say sit tight and keep focusing on the internal connection of what you have. And the more you do that, the more you become connected with love within yourself for who you are, for having the right to be who you are, the less you give energy to that which is outside of you. And the more you become free to be able to slice through everything like a hot knife through butter, like I've said before. So this may not have been the most easiest video to have done, because I don't normally do this, but I felt I needed to do this and express exactly what it is, where we are, where I am. And yeah, look after yourselves, and we will connect again soon.